Hi everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great on your journey of becoming no smoker or nicotine free. For those of you who are already on the journey, reading Alan Carr's book in full might not be suitable anymore. Alan Carr asks you in that book to continue smoking, which many of you have already gave up, so it might not be beneficial to grab that book and read it again. There is a rationale behind his request for you to continue smoke while you read his book. He wants you to fully focus on what he has to say instead of fighting off the cravings. Nevertheless, even those of you who are already on the journey may benefit from the information contained in this book, and I will try to summarize what helped me the most and answer some questions which are often popping up in stop smoking support groups on Facebook I joined recently. Be reassured that this video does not contain any images of people smoking or vaping or images of any tobacco products. Should you be interested in some topics contained in this video, I created links below so you can skip to the topics of your interest. The most frequent question or query in the support group is that about cravings. How to deal with them? Will they ever go away? To deal with my own cravings in the past, I used Alan Carr's tool, that of externalization of nicotine. Basically, Alan Carr advises us to imagine that you have a nicotine monster living in your stomach which feeds off nicotine and you need to starve it to death. Every time you have cravings, tell that monster in your own way, perhaps in a very rude way, that's what I was using, that you will starve it to death. Every time you have cravings, tell it, "No, you silly sucker, I will starve you to death, no nicotine for you today." The most challenging period on average is first 14 days. I dealt with that period and my cravings using this tool, telling off the monster every time I had cravings, and the cravings were fading away until there were no cravings after some time. The time for the cravings to fade away is very individual for each of us. I myself used to be a smoker for about 17 years, and it took me maybe about a month until I didn't feel any cravings anymore. So that is one of the ways how to deal with the cravings, and I found it the most effective way for myself. Another frequent question is about how to deal with the habits associated with smoking. Let's say you're having a cup of coffee and you crave a cigarette, because every time you used to have a cup of coffee in the past, you had a cigarette. I myself used to have cravings after food or first thing in the morning. This will be individual again. When you grab a cup of coffee or drink of alcohol or whatever you do, whatever routine are you in, don't try to suppress the association. Let it surface, realize it fully, analyze it and tell yourself, "Oh, okay, so when I do this, I start to crave." Okay, every time this happens, realize it, analyze it, and it will fade away gradually until you have no associations at all at some point. And when you have the cravings associated with the routines, deal with the cravings the way I described earlier. Another frequent question is about how to deal with people who still smoke around you. It may be your relatives, your loved ones, your best friends, or other people, your co-workers, any people who smoke around you at any time. The best way how to deal with these people is to feel sorry for them. You have to realize that they are still drowning in the addiction while you are trying to set yourself free. And it is quite logical. How else could you feel about somebody who is damaging their health because there is a strong addiction? At the same time, and when you set yourself fully free, you may feel the urge, like me in the past, to help them. It took me about 2 years to motivate one of my best friends to grab that book finally and free himself too. He can't be any happier now, and he's never going to pick this addiction again. This book gave us really strong rationale to not to pick the addiction again. Another topic is how to deal with the stress, because people can cave in when they are under pressure. They believe that the cigarette will lessen the stress. Well, it may lessen the stress for the first 2 minutes, but after that you may become depressed, you may feel like failure, and it's not basically worth it. You just have to persevere here. You have to realize that once the cravings fade away, you will deal so much better with the stress, because you won't have one more stress, the addiction itself, to calm down. So just persevere. Don't give in to stress. If you give in, you are going to feel so much worse. Alan Carr gives us an example of you going to a funeral, which can be a very stressful occasion. You might meet old friends who are smokers still, and you might think, oh, that one cigarette, well, you know, I have it with my best friends and stuff like that. But no, don't do that. You will make the things so much harder for you, and you will be one foot in the addiction again. Once you quit nicotine, you have to realize not to let your brain get reminded of this drug anymore again. Never. A member of one of the support groups pointed out a very important thing. That of the Alan Carr's book made him feel positive about quitting. Quitting nicotine or smoking can make you feel like you are going to lose something. No. Here you have to change your mindset. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. You will have better health. Your immune system will be so much stronger. You'll be richer. If you used to smoke tobacco, you are not going to have bad breath anymore, yellow fingernails and similarly. There are only positives to gain. Don't look at it as something negative, no matter how hard it is. Look at it as a positive change. Reinforce this in you. It is a positive change you are making. I still believe that everyone can get completely unhooked from nicotine. But some of us might not be fully ready to give up yet, and that's all good. We are all different, deal with the things differently, and for some of us, it might not be suitable to completely give up nicotine yet because we wouldn't cope otherwise. Therefore, lessening the harm is always welcomed. I myself transitioned from smoking tobacco in the past to e-cigarettes to lessen the harm, and I still believe it is lessening of harm, and there is a belief in Britain that vaping is up to 95% safer than smoking tobacco. So yeah, if you feel like you can't fully give up yet, transit to less harm. Similarly, nicotine patches could be great for you too. I myself used them for about a week before I got reminded of this brilliant book. Using nicotine patches for a week was really beneficial for me because it made me realize that it is really the nicotine which kept me vaping at that time. It made me strongly realize that it is really the nicotine because when I had the patch on, my cravings to vape were nowhere near as bad as without it. I actually forgot that I need to vape or that I want to vape when I had the patch on. That was very crucial to me, the realization that it really is the nicotine addiction which keep most of us smoking or vaping. I still believe, generally, that Alan Carr's book is the best way to quit. But whatever works for you and is the best thing for you. Good luck, go for it, you will get there.